In the last video, we covered what is your biggest roadblock to fluency is. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it first. And in this video, you're going to learn about the 3 keys that will help you stay motivated when you're learning to speak a language. Let's jump right in. Environment matters more than you realize. You and I are busy people. We got to deal with work, school, family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriends, and most of the people around us don't understand what we're going through when we're trying to learn to speak a language. So for self-learners like us, our natural environment usually doesn't support us to stay motivated to learn consistently over time. Now, one way to solve that problem is to put yourself in communities and environment, both online and offline, that will motivate you, keep you accountable, and support you throughout your language learning journey. So when I was doing my 3-month German challenge, I was posting my progress update on Benny Lewis Fluent in 3 Months forum. And at the time, I met this guy named Byron John. And he was living in New York, and he was learning Mandarin, and we started about the same time from scratch, both of us. And whenever I've wanted to quit, whenever I feel frustrated, whenever I don't feel like studying that day, I'll read Byron John's update. And every time I read his update about his frustration, his progress, his victories, I get inspired and I want to go back to studying again, every single time. When I completed that 15-minute conversation with Papa on video, I sent Byron John a message. I said, "Hey Byron John, thank you so much for posting all your updates. I don't know if I could make it without your support and your inspiring updates, because every time I get frustrated or wanting to quit, I'll read your updates and I get inspired again. So thank you so much." And to my surprise, he wrote me right back. He said, "Brian, what are you talking about? I was getting inspired by your updates. Every time I wanted to quit or every time that I'm frustrated, I'll read your update and get inspired. Thank you for posting your updates." And that's when I realized, wouldn't it be awesome if language learners around the world all get together, motivating, supporting each other, and all striving for the same goal of holding that 15-minute conversation in 90 days together as a community? Wouldn't that be a lot more effective, a lot more fun, and just be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome? And that's basically how the Add1Challenge got started. So we've been running the Add1Challenge for more than a year now. We have more than 300 language learners around the world who went through the Add1Challenge, and I learned a lot. One thing I realized that everyone gets motivated by different things. So we had already built in many different kind of motivators for different people. For example, we have public accountability, we have in-community accountability, we have study groups, we have mastermind groups, we're going to have mini challenges, we have contests, we have rewards and punishment. All these kind of things are built in the Add1Challenge just to help create a community and just to help you to stay motivated and supported so we can all reach for the same goal of having that 15-minute conversation in 90 days. Now, most of us are used to learning alone, and I can tell you that the results and the friends that you meet in the Add1Challenge and the experience of learning a language, to speak a language, it's like night and day compared to learning by yourself. So the environment matters a lot more than you realize. That's number 1. Number 2, how motivated you are today is determined by what's in your future. What does that mean? To illustrate this point, you got to think back with me. Think back. Think back to the first time that you're going on a date with someone that you really, really, really like. How did you feel and what were you doing an hour or 2 before the date? I don't know about girls. Girls are probably like, getting excited and like talking to friends and putting on dresses and like doing makeup. And for a guy like me, I was doing a lot of push-ups just so that I appeared, bigger than I am. So what does that have to do with getting motivated? The thing to get is that the date hasn't happened yet, but it has an impact on how I feel and my action right now. Now, if we tie that to language learning, think of the most boring language learning activity that you can think of. For me, is learning German by reading a book. Now, someone recommended that this book, if you want to learn grammar in German, you need to buy this book and you need to read it. So yeah, okay, I buy the book and I scheduled it in my schedule, and I think that this is the most boring thing that you can ever do. And how do you think I feel when I know that reading that German book is in my schedule? Do you think I was motivated? Of course not. How do you think I feel 5 minutes before I pick up that book? Sleepy And guess what happens 5 minutes in when I was reading the book? I fell asleep every single time with no exception. So the biggest key, or one of the biggest key to stay motivated for a long period of time to learn to speak your language is to put as many exciting and fun activities and put as many reward and punishment and get as many people involved as possible, all in the future, so that it's so compelling that it's pulling you into action right now. One clear example is that what I did for the German challenge is that I told Papa, I said, if I can't have that 15-minute conversation with you in 90 days, I will live with you and I'll wash your toilet for a week. So I put that in the future myself. My dad, Papa didn't make me do it, but I put it in the future myself so that will get me motivated. And when I don't want to study and when I feel like quitting, what do you think that when I think about cleaning Papa's toilet and living with him for a week, do you think I was motivated to get in action? Oh, heck yeah, I was. So one of the biggest key to stay motivated is that how motivated you are today is determined by what's in the future. Number 3, be committed to doing what you said you would do and take it on as a challenge. Let me ask you this. When is the last time that you took on doing something consistently every day for 3 months? Not because of work, not because of school, not because of family and friends, but because you said so. I don't know about you, but for me, I couldn't think of anything that I did consistently every day just because I said so before the Add1Challenge. One of the reasons why language learners got an expected result is because they took on doing what they said they would do as a challenge. Why? Just because they said so. They would study 5 days a week, an hour a day. Why? Just because they said so. Now, even though they really don't want to schedule those weekly practice with a language partner, but they still do it anyways. Why? Just because they said so. What if they miss a day? What if they miss doing what they said they would do? They'll practice getting themselves back up, dusting it off, and go back to doing what they said they would do. So it's no surprise that people actually took doing what they said they would do as a challenge, got an expected result, and a newfound confidence in themselves. Just imagine how cool it would be. You say, I'm going to do this for 3 months, nothing can stop me, and it's going to happen. And it happens. How cool would that be? And a lot of these people who went through the Add1Challenge are just students, moms, even people with full-time jobs. So if they can do it, anybody can. And at the end of the day, if you don't do what you said you would do, nothing can help you because nobody's gonna come to your house and make you study. So take on doing what you said you would do as a challenge and use it as a motivator. That's number 3. So to recap, the 3 keys that will help you stay motivated when you learn to speak a language. Number 1, your environment matters more than you realize. Number 2, how motivated you are today is determined by what's in your future. Number 3, be committed to doing what you said you would do and take it on as a challenge. Those are the 3 keys. And in the next video, you're going to learn how the Add1Challenge works, what people say about it, and we're going to make a mouth-watering announcement. That's something that we're going to implement in future Add1Challenge that's never been done before. And every time I share this idea with a polyglot or language learning enthusiast, they get really excited and they love the idea. So you don't want to miss the next video. Until then, in the comments below, let us know why you're so motivated into learning to speak the language that you always want to speak. Why do you want to speak this beautiful language? Tell us. Be as detailed as possible. I really look forward to reading what's motivating you below this video. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.